So this was 38 hours in Dubai. And so no sleep whatsoever. And so we didn't really dive deep into the culture and the history. But what's crazy is 20 years ago, this place was a desert, but it shows you the power of imagination and the right leadership. So we live in Bali, as you can see right now, but this is about Dubai. And so we all flew on Qatar business class. And I will say this was a life-changing experience for most of us. So me, I've flown business quite a few times. Everyone else, it was their first time. And when they say Qatar Airlines is arguably the best business class in the world, it would be hard to debate. You know, from the lie flat beds to the service, to the food, and just like you literally get the pajamas. And if a flight is 9 hours, which it was, you could do another 4 or 5 hours without complaining at all. So me and Yuri paid full price for our flights and booked them way ahead of time. But Talia, our producer, actually has a hack for you guys.
All right, so everybody needs to know this travel tip. If you want to get an upgraded business class flight, sometimes it's better to just ask right here at the counter. Why? Because the boys, a long time ago, got this flight early from Jakarta to Dubai for $1,400, and that was for business class. If they would have got it last night for business class, it would have been $2,000. But instead, I paid $400 for economy, then asked the counter to upgrade me and paid an extra $385 US. So check in at the desk, see what you got.
So as soon as we landed, beautiful airport in Dubai. So we head outside, and then the thing is, I have my Google Fi phone, or my Google Pixel that has Google Fi service, basically LTE service anywhere I go, so I don't have to worry about switching SIM cards. And so I fired up Uber, ordered our Uber, and literally directly to our hotel. And so if you know anything about Dubai, it is like the pictures. When you think about luxury, basically Dubai is luxury on steroids. Everywhere you look, the fancy cars, and also the amazing 5-star hotels. And so when we got there, we had to make sure that we stayed someplace fly. All right, so but before I talk about accommodation, when I said we didn't sleep, we literally dropped our bags off, and then we were in the car on the way to further in the desert to go hang out with Big Red Adventures. They're literally #1 in Dubai. And so I wanted to do basically the typical Dubai thing, be out in the desert, riding the Can-Am Dune buggies. And if you know anything about me, I love action and adventure, as does most of the team. Woo, I ain't slept in about 24 hours. I thought I was gonna need coffee, but when you do this, no coffee needed. So this was the adrenaline, this was the landscapes. If you've never been out in the dunes, it's just such an exhilarating feeling. And when you're out there, it's so quiet and peaceful, mixed with the loud engines. And the thing is, if you know how to drive a car, you're pretty much gonna be fine. But anyways, man, I promise you, this is one of the best things that you can do. You know, this is my kind of speed. You've been watching me for any amount of time. You know I love this type of thing. And then we even stopped for a bit, and we actually, can't call it snowboarding, sandboarded. Nobody was really too good. I don't know who the best is, maybe Talia. And so we just had like the time of our lives out there. Like these Can-Ams, they move like no other, but I can't recommend it enough. One of the most amazing experiences, not just of the trip, but of my life, something that I'm gonna remember forever. So accommodations in Dubai, there's no limit to where you can stay. And so we stayed at the 5 Jumeriah Village Hotel. And we opted for the 2-bedroom sky villa. And when you say sky villa, it's literally a villa in the sky. We had our own private pool. And to give you a sense of the vibe when you walk into the hotel, if you've ever been to the Cosmo in Vegas, where you're just like, okay, this is fresh. Like they understand interior design and the touch to all the details. And then the other crazy thing is just all of the amenities in the building. You literally have restaurants, like clubs, bars. Like I said, picture the Cosmo, but on a different level out here in Dubai. Ordered room service one day, just a vibe. We're eating outside, vibing, just good times all around. So one thing about the Middle East, there's different rules in the West. And so many people have so many questions. Even before I went, I was Googling what the rules, and I wasn't quite sure. So a lot of things have actually changed in November of 2020. And so one of the biggest laws is now you can stay in a hotel room, or you can live together, someone of the opposite sex without being married. And then another thing is now you can consume alcohol in private or a licensed establishment, which is a really, really big deal. And then another thing is you can actually do business in the Emiratis without actually, because before you had to have basically like a co-signer, now you can register a business strictly by yourself. And there's a bunch of other rules. Maybe I'll drop a link below this video so you can do further research. So when you talk about exotic cars, I get excited. I've driven quite a few, but they still put one of the biggest smiles on my face, even like when I'm on the motorcycles. I love it. And so I went to go check out Vroom rental company in Dubai. And it's like, you know, like when you go to like Enterprise or you go to Six, like they're going through all this crazy stuff and you're like, okay, I'm actually going through a process. Now I feel, basically it's the difference between checking into economy check-in and first class check-in. That's what it was like getting the keys to the Lambo that I rented. And they have all the cars, the Rolls Royce, all the luxury cars that you can possibly imagine. And so I had a driver the entire time when I was in Dubai, but I was like, if I'm in Dubai for this short amount of time, I am gonna push it to the limit. So we got the Lambo truck. When you put this Lambo in sports mode, childhood dreams come true. Believe that. And if you got the budget for it, I 100% recommending getting a Lambo. Like I literally could not control the smile on my face. And you know, when you roll in a Lambo, it's just different. For me, I'm not used to this life yet. I don't own a Lambo, I don't own a Rolls Royce. So it's a treat for me every time I get in one of these exotic cars, and I can't say enough about Vroom. Highly recommend them. Like if I had friends going, I'm like, yo, go see them. They will take care of you in a first class way. So when I had the Lambo, I had to pull up to a few places, right? And so we were hungry, and then so we pulled up at the Four Seasons for brunch. Now let's just say there are levels to brunch. When we walked in the restaurant, I was like, okay, I know what time it is. And so when you think about all the experiences, and one of the crazy things is it's actually curated by Mina. And so if you live on the West Coast of America, he has restaurants under his chain all throughout the West Coast, in San Francisco, you know, Los Angeles. And so I had so many different appetizers. For my entree, I had the lamb cutlets, absolutely exquisite. And I had for dessert, we actually did a few different things, but one of the things that I was really impressed by was the cocktails.
We are at Mina Brasserie, and they have an amazing cocktail menu that's inspired by art pieces all around the world. So this is called Girl with the Pearl Earrings. We have the Mona Lisa and the Scream, which I just killed. But everything about this restaurant so far is amazing. The service, the vibe, the music.
So while I've talked about a lot of the expensive things, the most affordable place on earth that I've ever done a yacht is actually in Dubai. I was actually blown away. So I was on GetMyBoat. If you've known me for any time, that's who I pretty much use to book my boats. And it was $150 an hour to run a yacht, like a 50-footer. Like when I do similar ones in LA, or Chicago, they're about $500 an hour. So you're talking about a third of the price. And because it was so affordable, I actually did it twice. One during the day, which is absolutely a vibe. But make sure that you have a big enough yacht where you can go inside and outside, because it is hot in Dubai. And so there's no getting around that. But the thing is, we also did it at night because the city looks completely different at night, and it was another unique experience. One thing just to remember though, make sure that you bring your passport. We actually had to go back and get our passports to enter, you know, the one yacht. So just a little tidbit for you, but I can't recommend it enough. But now the best 12 minutes you could probably give your girl is up in the air in a helicopter. When you're talking about a 12 minutes, she will never forget. And I highly recommend it. Literally 12 minutes is all you need. And I hope you enjoyed as much as I did and the entire crew. Like, and the helicopters are dope. Like really, really nice choppers. Bose headsets, you know it's official. So we couldn't end Dubai without at least doing a little culture, right? Like when I picture the Middle East, you know, the spices, the flavors, you know, the Arabic food, I was like, I have to do it before I leave. So a few hours before the end of the night, we went to the old part of Dubai, and it was absolutely beautiful. Even stopped in like one of the shops and, you know, got the traditional outfit, you know, attire. But highly recommend, if you come to Dubai, make sure you visit the Old Town. definitely worth the trip there. But all in all, man, this was 38 hours in Dubai. One of the best 38 hours in my life, and also an unforgettable 38 hours. And so hopefully when we come back, we get to do it so much bigger, really dive into the culture, meet some of the iconic Emiratis that are around, and also people, within the community, because obviously within any place, it's the people that make a place, not just the things that you do. I cannot wait to come back. Big shout out to that man behind the camera, Mr. Anthony Two Scoops, one of the best filmmakers in the world. And if you want to learn how to shoot and edit, man, you're gonna see a link below. Make sure you check it out. He has a whole free course that you can check out, free class. And then shout out to Isaiah McNeil on the music, to Leah for producing this, and then also Badman Yuri for helping out shooting some of this additional footage. But yo, Dubai, thank you so much. When we come back, I cannot wait to hang out. Take care, stay safe, and make it a great day. So what's happening now is I don't know how to actually start.
Now what we're gonna do is break down this driving cluster here. For someone who hasn't driven a Lamborghini before, this can be a little overwhelming, but it's a lot easier than you think. So the first thing we're gonna do is show you how to put the car in park.